Yo, what's going on, guys? In this video, we're going to be doing Hail from HackTheBox. This is a box right about solid medium. And yeah, let's get on to the video. As always, I do have my terminals here. I do have my open VPN. I'm going to start with pinging the IP address. We'll do ping minus count for 3. We'll do this for 10, 10, 11, 46. We do get a response back. I'm going to start routing mmap scan. So I'll do mmISC for default scripts, place enumeration. We'll scan out ports and IP. Doing this, I'll do my verbose. We do have a total of 2 ports open, port 22 open for SSH, and also port 80 open for HTTP. We'll start visiting port 80. And here we do have a host name for hail.htv. I do have 2 Firefoxes open. We'll just do 10, 10, 11, 46. And we do have this for hail.htv. We'll click my terminals here. I'll do a VI into /et host. 10, we'll do this for 10, 10, 11, 46 for hail.htv. We refresh this. And here we do get a new page here. We do contribute source code. And we don't have anything under here. Here we do a fast resume builder. We can create professional resumes in minutes. We can choose a username and also a password here. Just try this for like admin pass. So you can enumerate for some users. And it doesn't seem like we can, or we have an output error for enumeration for users, right? We can't sign up. So I'm just going to do this for admin. We'll do admin at gmail.com. Admin and pass. You can sign up. Go to sign up. Let's go to admin. gmail.com, admin, and we can't create a user for this. We'll do control source code, nothing under here. So I'm gonna start running a GoBuster. We zoom in, so I'll do GoBuster dir mode -u into the IP address. We'll do -w for user share word list. We'll do dirbuster directory list over there medium.txt with extensions of HTML, TXT, and also PHP. Looking back at that map scan, we do have a total of 2 ports open, port 22 for SSH and also port 8 open for HTTP. Really create an account or sign up or enumerate for any users on the sign up on the login page. I'm going to start by, since we do have a host name, I'm going to do some subdomain enumeration. Got my terminals here, so we'll do GoBuster, we'll do vhost, since we want to do subdomain enumeration for user share word list. We'll do dirbuster directory. Let's do medium.txt. We'll do -u for hail.htv. And we'll do -minus append for, I think we can do append host. I think append host name, I believe it's, let's go to GoBuster, -minus help for append. I believe we do have this for GoBuster for append host name. Append domain. This is not host name, it's going to be append domain. We'll run this one more time. Take dash survey.hail.htv and also an API. So I'm going to put this into my /et host. So we have api.hail.htv as well as going to be for take servers.hail. So you have take survey. We'll do HTTP for take survey.hail.htv as well as for API, api.hail.htv. And we do get 2 different types of applications here. We have a Ruby version for Ruby 3.3.5. We can use Webalizer as well. We do have some surveys available. We can contact administrator for Ralph HTTP or hail.htv. We do know that administrator is for Ralph. This is running the Lime survey. Let's see if I can find a version under here. I can't find a version and we don't have anything for there, but since we do have a Lime survey, Let's start by checking for any, let's check the GitHub so we can find a proper of how the document root is. So we do have stuff like themes, tests, we have admin. So we know that we do have a directory for admin. I want to see if this does exist on the server. We go to /admin, and this redirects us to a SA/login. We'll go to, and then we have the admin.php. This is just redirecting. I'm guessing we can log in as Ralph since it did tell us to Ralph as the administrator. Since we do have access to the survey and also the take survey and also the API, I'm going to start by, so you can sign up here. We'll do this for admin@gmail.com. We'll do this for admin and pass. It seems like we're able to log in now. We have personal information, education, had experience. This is not going to anywhere. We can maybe export as PDF. If I export this as PDF, we just do get a PDF. So I'm going to send this within Burp Sweep. I'm going to start by checking. Sending this request to export it and see if we can see what this is leading to. Because if I this is just opening a PDF file or downloading the PDF file from the resume that we did download. If I go to inspect, we'll go to network. If I export as PDF, we'll find that this is going to be a post. Let's go to request, response. We don't see the request or response, but doing that, we can send this within Burp and check out the request that's happening. So we'll go to proxy settings, which is for specific address for 10.10.11.1655. I do need to change my HackTheBox IP. Okay, we'll send this with a repeater. We're going to send. Git is being created. Let's forward this. And we get a response back from, also to get a parameter back from download. We'll send this with a repeater. We'll start by doing a LFI. Let's delete the PDF and do this for LFI. We'll do /d password. Doesn't seem to work. We'll forward this. And we might need to do the, if I go back to, let's drop this. I'm going to copy everything basically from the host. So I can copy the authentication for, which we do have the key for authentication. Let's change also the parameter. We'll do this for get, since this was as options. File not found. Let's do a just a /etc password, since it is requesting files. And we have a local file inclusion. We did this for root, users root, Ralph, as well as Postgres and Ron. So I'm gonna start by checking if we can do a check for the config for a config file. By default, if we go into config for database.yml, this is a default file that we can find for the database for Rails. We'll see. We also have the database path for storage development SQLite 3. We'll send that. Hash for, let's see, this is crumbled together, but we have Ralph for this hash right here. This is going to go all the way to NG. I'm going to put this into a hash.txt. Start by cracking these hashes, hash.txt. I know we had a user for Ralph for the, which is going to be for the survey, for the application for survey. So maybe we can crack his hash. I do have his hash, so I'm going to use John the Ripper. So I'll do John minus word list. We'll equal this to user share word list rockq.txt for hash.txt. And we'll see if this cracks. If this is able to crack, we know we have the user for Ralph for that user. Let's go back to burp. I want to make sure that we do have the right hash for NG 2024. And we also have another user for tester3 at test. We cracked the hash. Let's log in as Ralph for password. Let's turn off my Foxy proxy. And now we are under Ralph for Lime survey. I'm going to start by searching up a Lime survey for exploiting GitHub. I believe we can submit a plugin to get remote code execution, which is this is the repository that I do use. Let's actually use a different one for this Y1LD. This one we can actually edit manually. We can edit the config.xml as well as the php-rev.php, compile this into a zip file. We're not going to be using their zip since it's already compiled, but we need to compile our own zip using the php-rev and also the config.xml. We can go to configurations, plugins to upload this plugin. Go to configuration, plugins. We can upload and install that plugin right there. I'm going to start by git cloning this. We'll git clone C2 Lime survey. If we go to Python 3 for exploit.py, we're probably going to need to edit some values for this, but just for now, I'll make a new directory for new. We'll copy the config to new as well as the config and the PHP to new as well. So let's VI into config.xml. We're going to edit the name, which is edit the name for proxy programmer. The same thing for the author. I just want to make sure that this does match with the name of the zip file. I don't know if the config.xml is checking for the name. We don't need to specify zip, but maybe it's checking for the name. I just want to make sure that it does match. And we did get a successful upload on survey. For the version, these are compatibility. So we can definitely just put the version of 6.5, I believe it was 6.64. So we can just put 6.0. I'm following the same syntax for them. Just the same as over here. Put the version for 6.0. We have the right version. We have the author and also the name for proxy programmer. So I'm going to zip. We'll do -r for proxy programmer for config, as well as we do need to edit the PHP. Let's put this for the chain. We'll change my IP address. 10.10. 10.10.16.55. We'll do this on port 9001. We have the shell. Once we do get a shell, this will be executed. And seems that's about it that we can edit on here. So do zip -r for proxy programmer for config and as well as for PHP. and that should be into a proxyprogramer.zip. So go to upload install. Let me start my listener. Go to browse other locations. We have this for heal, Lime survey, new, proxyprogramer.zip. We can install this. Install. Let's go to page 2. We can activate this plugin. And we don't get a shell back. Let's check what we did wrong under here. Let's VI into config XML. We have the plugin, the name 6.0 for compatibility. Okay, so it doesn't seem like we can execute this shell. So I'm going to check into this exploit.py to see what this is doing, how it's being activated. We see that we have the file underscore activate for the post. This is going into the This is going to index.php admin. So it is getting the request.get URL. This is going to uploads. So we'll change this to uploads. We'll go to plugins, or let's go to upload plugins. Does seem to be a valid path. We did have it for proxy programmer. Check if that is valid path. Doesn't seem to be on the server. Let's upload this one more time. Upload, install, browse, install. If we refresh this, now we have proxy programmer. So, and we have the PHP, php-rev.php. We do ID, and now under www data. So looking back, we actually activated the plugin, but it's not being activated. We can basically go into, do a little bit of testing and go into the exploit.py. We saw the request.get. We just directly executed from the direct path as well. I just want to see where the path was, where it's being uploaded. Because if it is uploaded, you can just curl it, use like -x for get. And that gets us a shell, right? We clear my terminals here, export my term is equal to xterm. We do ID, and now under www data. So I'm gonna do a bash -i. You're under bash. I'll do a Python 3. Seems gonna be the same thing. I want to start by finding the document root, so I'm gonna go under var dub. Do -SLA. We have Lime survey. Right now, I want to look for a config.php. Anytime there's, of course, a login.php, you're going to find a config.php within the document root of where the application is stored. So I would suppose we have under admin, maybe it's a config, that's admin.php, application, seed into config, and config.php as well. Also, another thing you can do is when you can also look at, of course, the document root. You see that it's matching the same exact structure of what's on the server. So go to applications, config. You'll find that config, the config.php, which if we check our pwd application config, it's not under here, but you'll see that we have config defaults.php. I'm guessing it's going to be the same thing as what we have under here, right? we do have a password, which I'm going to put into my leaf pad. And this is going to be for DB user. We don't need to access the database unless there's other users on the machine. But first, before doing that, I want to add this into home, which uses Ron. We do ID, and this seemed like that was a password for Ron. We do have port 22 open for SSH. Some SSH into Ron at 10, 10, 10. $11.46. We do ID, and now into Run. So I'm going to start by running a sudo mycel into the password. We can't run anything as sudo. Go under /opt, anything under here, everything under there. So I'm going to do ss-tlmvp or alntp. This will list all the connections, active connections. I want to check for 8500 for this port. If we check, this should be for this should be a common port for this should be a common port for the application for console. If we check for on exploitdb, you can find this for console. And we can find a HashiCorp console remote code execution or for HashiCorp. So I'm going to start by port forwarding. So I'm going to see into dev shm. I do want to get Chisel onto the box. We'll just put him under this directory. We'll do which Chisel. We have user bin Chisel. I'm going to copy this binary to, we'll do Python 3. Let's do ifconfig Python 3 minus -m http.server port 8881 10.16.55. We'll do wget http port 8881 for Chisel. And we do get a GET request from the server. We'll do chmod +x for Chisel. And we should be able to run Chisel onto in client mode, right? So we'll do Chisel, we'll do mice reverse. We'll do this for, we want to act as a server for port 8081. We'll connect to the client. We'll do my IP address for 1655. We have the server or Chisel running on 8081. We'll do -r 8500 for 127.0.0.1 for 8500. We do get a connect back. Let's check my localhost for 8500 for localhost. This seems to be open. 8500. And it does match what is on the nmap. And we do get that console as I mentioned. So let's go back into this exploitdb. This is remote co-execution. I'm going to get the raw data. I'll wget this onto my machine. Move 51 to exploit. This is going to be written in Python. We'll do Python 3 for exploit.py. We can do the remote host. I'm going to be editing this exploit.py. I believe there's a header that we can, or a JSON that we need to specify this as uppercase. If it doesn't work, then we'll go back into checking that. But so do Python 3 for exploit.py. We'll do the remote host for, I believe it's checking for remote host, remote port, localhost, local port 127.0.0.1, 8500, 10.10, 16.55 for 9001. We don't need a ACL token. Press it on that. We'll just specify the ACL token for 0. And after a while, if we do ID, now into root, so we can see into root, some SLA, and cut our root.txt. Well, guys, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.